So before I start talking about Howard's many accomplishments, I just want to thank him for being here. Howard is a notoriously busy person. And not just from where I'm standing, but I think his fellow tech giants would say, oh yeah, Howard is a very busy person. And I owe a lot to Howard's busyness because every time I book a meeting with him, Howard's schedule somehow changes. And I actually often get a vacation day in Shanghai, touring around. And so my assistant Jennifer knows now that anytime I travel to Asia, I go to and from Shanghai. So I have two opportunities to try to catch up with Howard. And I've gotten to know Shanghai really, really well. Because Howard is such an incredible person, and Howard is a shining example of what it takes, what taking calculated risks can do to build something with lasting and far-reaching impact. Howard came to Oregon State as a graduate student and earned his master's in electrical engineering in 1987 and a PhD in the same field. He went on to find success in Silicon Valley, but recognized an opportunity to make his mark back home, where China's high-tech revolution had just begun. Howard became the head of a new product development for Shanghai Belling, an integrated circuit maker. In 1997, he co-founded New Wave Semiconductor Corp., the first venture capital-funded company in China, and it was a big success. But he didn't stop there. In 2004, Howard co-founded Montage Technology, which grew into a world-class processing and integrated circuit design company under his leadership. Montage chips are used in data centers to support the transfer between CPUs and the computer memory. Howard says, it's not a fancy product. Well, Howard, I think helping billions of people around the world communicate with each other is pretty fancy. I'm inspired by Howard's ability to seize opportunities and grow businesses with such a lasting global impact. Of course, his kind of success can't happen to just anyone. Howard is successful because he's a brilliant engineer, a clever entrepreneur, a dedicated leader, and an incredibly kind man. We are lucky to have Howard with us here tonight, joined by some of his former classmates, some of his family, and also his doctoral advisor, David Allstot. Please join me in welcoming Howard Yang to the Engineering Hall of Fame.
Sure.
Okay, I'll.
Thank you, Scott, for the very nice word, and good evening, everyone. Since I have been back to China for 30 years now, so my English is really broken. I have to read my speech from a piece of paper. So first of all, I'm extremely honored to be inducted into the Engineering Hall of Fame. I have to say that this recognition is not only for me, but also for my fellow students, and of course, our wonderful professor, Dave Allstot. Thank you, Dave, for flying all the way from Pittsburgh to attend this event. As we know, Dave is a world-renowned professor and engineer in the area of integrated electronics. When he came to OSU 38 years ago, he single-handedly established OSU's IC Design Research Group. With his tremendous effort, the group grew from 0 to some 20 graduate students in 2 years. I was very lucky to become Dave's first PhD student. We all worked incredibly hard to really build up the IC program at OSU. I still remember one time we need to submit a paper to an IEEE journal. In order to meet the deadline, we worked around the clock. At one night, it was about 2:00 a.m., while Terry and I were measuring the chip in the lab, and Dave was in his office writing the paper. Mrs. Allstot appeared. She delivered some chicken soup. And guess what? Dave finished the soup by himself. That's true. So many years later, I still complain to Dave that he didn't share the soup with us. Stories aside, today, if you look at this group of people, many of them made really big impact on both industry and academia. For example, Terry became Vice Chancellor in charge of research and innovation at University of Colorado. She elected to IEEE Fellow and received many prestigious awards. Mahmoud is VP at NVIDIA now. Actually, he was employee number 50 or something at NVIDIA. I don't really want to think about how much his stock option worth today. And Robert, he is VP at Montage Technology. People in this room may not be familiar with Montage, but our chip helps to deliver over 40% data between CPU and computer memories in data centers around the world. Robert is the key contributor to this achievement. Robert works very hard, but he couldn't get rid of the letter V for his VP title. Because I am the P. And there are many other fellow students from our group made similar contributions to the industry and academia. I believe all of us deeply appreciate and thankful for our trainings and education here at OSU, especially the College of Engineering and our department. This is why I said at the beginning, this award is not just for me, but for all of us. At last, but definitely not least, I would like to thank Professor Tom Plant, my master's degree advisor. When I first came to OSU as a poor foreign student, Tom supported me with his research fund and introduced me to the world of research. Thank you very much.